Afternoon, Alfredo. How are you? Welcome to Impact
Good afternoon,
Revolution.
Joshi.
It's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much for your time. Let's start the interview. If that's okay with you.
Thanks, Joshi. Thanks for having me in your on your video meeting session today. I'm very happy.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. So, Alfredo, before we start with the interview about business and life questions, I wanted to ask you something a bit personal so everybody can
Hmm.
get to know you a bit better. So, this is one of my favorite questions, which is how someone who knows you really well, Alfredo, and really admires you, will define who is
Okay.
Alfredo Serrano.
Admires. All right. Okay. So, well, say that I believe that the concept of being admired is a
Hmm.
little bit overrated, mainly in these days when people make funny poses on Instagram or show what they do on TikTok or publish witty tweets, just to be noticed. Probably, social networks have exploited our narcissist side.
Sure, sure.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't see myself as a role model for anything. Just want
Okay.
to be me, live a life with a purpose, and be comfortable with what I do, irrespective of whether people like it or hate it. Okay,
Hmm.
but it's not my intention to dodge the bullet here. So if I have to accept admiration, right, as a concept, I'd rather be admired for my achievements and not for myself, right? Uh, I'd rather be respected and known as an individual with a burning passion about technology and the impact it can have on people and the planet, and who
Hmm.
strives to live a purposeful life, and someone who deeply loves his family. So that
Okay,
would be me, right?
that's good.
Uh,
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing
this
that.
admiration thing does not work well with
It,
me. Anyways,
it could be someone who highly respects you, It's just to have an idea, but I think,
I prefer respect, right?
yes, yes.
It's a
So,
it's a
uh,
more long-standing kind of
see, the
feeling.
question was because people when they we ask about them, they try to be modest, and especially people and professionals like you that they have such a wild and a wide spread experience. So that's why they have some people that highly knows them and they respects them. So that was the purpose of the question. And now, the second question wanted to ask you, Alfredo. If I ask you what was your happiest moment in life so far, what would you say, or what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, happiest moment. I think we should learn to appreciate every moment in life, right?
Sure,
And lead
definitely.
a happy life as a string of happy moments, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you ask me, a very recent happy moment for for us, for me and my wife, was the graduation of our elder son Alfredo Jr.
Okay,
Last
cool.
May. He graduated summa cum laude in data science from Suffolk University in Boston. So that was a very much a happy moment, and we
Yeah.
can't wait to the graduation of our younger son Ignacio in artificial intelligence from King's College. So
Wow, all right, nice. Congratulations. Congratulations for those achievements from your children. So, so your sons, yeah, great. All right, definitely it's something that you have to be very proud. Well, you and your wife, right? So, congratulations on
yeah,
that.
we sure are.
Yeah,
We
thank
definitely
you.
are.
Thank you. So now we're going back to the interview questions regarding your experience and what you have lived so far. If you were to die tomorrow, Alfredo, it's a bit dramatic, but if you had that in mind, what would be the last impactful message that would you leave to the world?
Well, hopefully it's not that dramatic as you say, but if I have to say a last message to anyone would be make your life worthwhile. Okay, don't follow the path, blaze a trail.
Uh-huh. Make your life worthwhile. All right, great. Great. Thank you. And now regarding the your position as a startup scaler, sorry. What would you or what are the main lessons learned that you can bring to us for those for that experience that you have so far, Alfredo?
Sorry, in my position where? Sorry,
Yeah, so
in scaling.
a startup scaler, right? Is something that you do.
Ah,
You work
yes.
with startups, right? And you, let's say, advise them, as I understand. So, yes, so far, what are the main lessons learned that you could may share with us in this channel?
I mean, there are a number of lessons learned, during my experience. I've seen all sorts of things. Uh, uh, like in the old Blade Runner movie, I've seen things that you people would not believe. But I would say, first,
The most
never
impactful ones.
take
Yes.
yes, never take things for granted, right? Business cultures are quite different around the world, not a one size fits all. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that the Americans used to think in way back in the 90s, but they are now becoming more global minded, right? So
Yes,
I would say that probably trust is the most important currency in business,
definitely. Okay.
right?
Great. I agree with that.
Um, Also, sometimes you need to slow down to get fast, right?
Uh-huh.
But most important, when you are an entrepreneur, uh, you need to keep in mind that the fear of doing something is always greater than the actual doing of it, right? So
Yes. Mm.
you have to dare, you have to be bold, and again, you have to fail fast, but never give up. Probably what I've seen in my professional life is that those uh, enterprises or those startups, that have a purpose that is above and beyond its founder, that is greater than him, you know, those do finally succeed. And
Mm.
and and uh, when I say something that is above and beyond you, is like, let me give you an example. If you are into a business, uh, to say, you want to uh, cure a deathly disease, right?
Uh-huh.
You cannot afford giving up because you're giving up on the people that die from that disease. So it's not about you. It's not about how tired you feel. It's not about how difficult it is to get the results. It's not about how hard it is to raise funds. Because
Mm.
you know that there are a lot of lives, a lot of people that depend on you. You just cannot afford the luxury to take a break or to give up. So having a purpose that is above and beyond you, it's critical. I'm not sure we're still online, Yoshi. Yoshi, seguimos online. We're still online.
Okay,
Hey, Joshi.
we are back. I don't know what happened,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I suddenly lost you for a minute. I apologize for that, Alfredo. Yes. So if we go back, it was about the purpose, right? That is beyond the founder's interest, and you know it goes to serve other people. And you were putting this example of the seas, right? So like you cannot give up
Yeah, well, I mean,
because
there
it's the
there
sea.
are very many examples, but
Sure, sure.
what I'm trying to convey here is if and this is very legitimate, but but if you are just starting up a company just because you think that you have a very good idea that is solving a problem, but it will make you rich,
Hmm.
again, this is very legitimate, right? But probably most of those, and this is a reason why 93% of the startups, fail to make it. Probably when you come across the real difficulties, in market, funds, etc., right? I mean, then there are a lot of chances that you give up because it's not easy. It's not
Sure,
easy.
sure.
Being an entrepreneur is not easy. But when you are, again, focused on something and obsessed with a building something that will make the lives of others, much better and will solve the real problem to those that do not have any alternatives or any options or who, those who nobody cares from about then
Hmm.
you have some chances, a lot of more chances to succeed, and
Uh-huh.
that's because you're not just going to give up easily, right? That's my personal experience and my feeling, right?
Definitely. I agree
And
with that, you know. We also do this and we share this with our clients in our coaching business. It's about other people's centeredness. So to have a vision that is other people centered that goes beyond ourselves. And so thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Alfredo.
sure.
I totally agree with that. And now I wanted to ask you then, because you also said this about purpose and that you live with your purpose. What is your why, Alfredo?
You mean my
Your purpose.
personal
Yes.
purpose? Well, as I said before, I'm a person that is very much passionate about technology and the impact it can have on people, and since I'm much older than yourself, I had the opportunity to work in the 90s on the development of a new technology that
Yes.
was called back then GSM. Now we recall it as 2G, right? Which was the first generation of digital cellular telephony, right?
Uh,
And the main impact that that technology had on people is that, you know, it made mobile telephony available to anyone, to everyone, almost everyone. Although
yes.
we still need to, this is interesting, in
Uh-huh.
these days that we talk about the metaverse, and all those concepts,
Yes.
sometimes we do not realize that half of the world doesn't have the chance to connect to the internet. That's still a challenge,
Half, eh?
right? And
Half
that,
still. Mm.
I mean, there are 1 billion people in the world that do not get access to mm, mobile telephony at all. I mean, not even for
Sure.
voice. And out of those that still, have access, there are another 3 billion people that either cannot afford, is too expensive because, building networks in those countries, I'm talking Africa, Southeast Asia, etc., is way too expensive, and those costs are transferred over to the end user, or just simply, it's a matter of literacy or many other issues, right? So we still have billions of people that are not connected to the internet on a regular basis. And when I mean internet, is not only fixed access, but also is mobile access over something like 4G, because 3G is not pure internet.
Mm-hmm.
Today you have services like video conferences and remote learning, etc., that are very heavy on streaming video, and that require a significant chunk of bandwidth. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to have at least a 4G connectivity to 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 make use of those new technologies that are available. Half of the population of the world
Mm-hmm.
don't get.
Sure, definitely. Do you think technology will be able to solve that in the future?
So, well, there are a lot of technologies working on that or trying to fix that today, and there are a lot of satellite constellations being launched, precisely to provide fixed internet access in remote areas of the world or
Mm-hmm.
underdeveloped areas of the world. In the case of Elon Musk's Starlink or Bezos, I mean, there are a number of satellite constellations that are meant for that purpose. The only challenge is that they need to launch thousands of those satellites to cover significant portions of the Earth. Because
Mm,
a lower Earth orbit satellite is circumnavigating the Earth every hour and a half. So, it's
mm,
just passing over you at 27,000 kilometers per hour and
uh,
stays over you just for a few minutes. So you need to have another to take over it. So you have
yeah, change.
24 by 7 kind of
Uh,
service, right? Comes,
uh,
a persistent coverage. There are other alternatives. I'm currently working with a company that is into that,
mhm,
which are a new concept or a new category of aircrafts, if you want to call them, that are called HAPS. HAPS stands for high altitude pseudo satellites, and
mhm,
those are platforms that are meant to be launched and stay stationary at 20 kilometers above the ground. And
all
from
right.
there, they can communicate directly not only with a fixed wireless router in your house, but also with a regular mobile. So you don't need a satellite mobile anymore to communicate in an area, I don't know, in the Amazonian jungle in Brazil, right? You could have just coverage out of one of those platforms. So yeah, I mean the uh, technology is,
Communicate.
is is trying to bridge the gap and and to deliver you know an equal access to the internet. I truly believe that access to the internet is like a human right. I mean, same as
It is
you
basic
have
now, yeah.
access.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a basic need, same as you have access to running water or electricity.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
That's
having
right.
access to the internet is necessary today for anyone, right? To be part of and to be
Yeah.
included in the digital economy.
Hmm. Hmm. I love that. Yeah, that's a big realization, actually. Yeah, internet is like water and electricity right now. Yeah, totally. All right, very interesting about these satellites that are stationary. And just to understand this, because I guess the old thing or the old satellites that we are, well, the ones that we are used to, they go with the orbit and they are, moving, as you say, that we need thousands of those. So how do these stationary ones work? Because I suppose the maintenance and the technology there has to be a bit different in a way.
So yeah, the main challenge is to build a vessel that can sustain the stringent conditions of the stratosphere. So in the stratosphere, you have significant temperature cycles day and night. You also have ultraviolet and ozone radiation. So you need to build something that can stay up in the stratosphere for long periods of time and be able to remain there under those conditions, right? And that is where material science comes in.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the industry is developing today the right materials to make sure that we build these vessels to deliver on those capacities. In our case at Sky, we have decided to take the form factor of what you would call a a zeppelin, right? I mean,
Okay.
that probably
Definitely.
uh, you can picture that, right? We call it airship, right? So basically, we're building airships that are 80 to 120, 130-meter long, and and that they can not only lift significant amounts of weight, kilograms of payload. Payload is the equipment that you
Uh-huh.
lift to the
Sure.
stratosphere to provide a specific service, whether it's a telecommunication service or whether it's
Surveillance.
imagery because you want to do a surveillance or Earth
Mm-hmm.
observation services, etc. Right? So,
Interesting. Yes.
that's pretty much So it's about the uh, developing the right materials, that can allow you to stay up there for long periods of time, mm,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
maybe for years, and that can help you also maintain a stationary position and as well, provide power to the equipment that will deliver on the mission to the payload. Um, and the industry is advancing very rapidly. We've seen this is something is not that new. Uh, the aerospace industry looked into this back in the 50s, last century, and they did a number of attempts, and they all failed because the materials were not ready for that.
Mm.
And but this is same as the aerospatial uh, industry. I mean, they needed to develop special uh, metal alloys, to build these
Mm.
spaceships, etc. To send a man on the moon or for the
Sure.
space shuttle. That those
Definitely.
are different kind of steel grades, right? So same as the materials evolved, for their special technology or industry. We are evolving our materials to developing this on this kind of dream for many, and for
Uh-huh.
us, soon a reality.
All right, great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I'm sure you will get there definitely. And yeah, all the best with that, Alfredo. Yes, now this purpose of this channel is the Impact Revolution is to redefine the business mindset. Yes, for startups and entrepreneurs. And you talk about the purpose, what is really important. But what would you say in regarding to the mindset that you have seen in different teams of startups? What will be required for there to have a win-win, mindset in business in this today's world?
So I,
Yeah.
I think it all comes down to, honestly, to the same point. To have a
Yeah.
purpose above and beyond yourself, to be bold, be courageous, do what you
Uh,
believe in, and stay focused.
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Correct.
critical,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So whenever you want to start something up, you need to make sure that along the way, there's going to be a lot of hiccups, a lot of incidents, a lot of issues, but you should always stay focused and stay on your way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and like I said, when I say be bold, is use your lateral thinking, right? Think outside the box, right?
Sure. All right.
uh,
Right.
and you know that's critical. And when I say be courageous, is, well, you're going to be you're going to face the odds, and to face difficult situations, even running out of money and stuff like that, a number of times until you succeed. But you cannot despair. You need to stay to be persistent,
Uh-huh.
and
Hmm.
to be relentless in the pursuit of success. And again, it's doing what you believe in, and staying
Definitely.
focused is the key.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alfredo. Uh, I wanted to ask you also about mentor and mentorship. Yeah, you mentor or you help others to grow, and probably not just a startup, but also in your company and in your life with your sons. I wanted to know what mentors did have more impact in your life that has changed completely your mindset, and how did they do it?
Well, I had the opportunity, like I said before, I've been working always in very much innovative and breakthrough technologies that change the world, and
Hmm.
and and working with leadership teams that had that vision. Definitely, was the best mentoring exercise. I believe that a good executive has to be a mentor, but also
Hmm.
a coach and a leader to his team,
Yes.
and above everything, to be authentic and transparent.
Hmm.
I I you know I think I had the privilege to work with you know prominent uh, with prominent executives and gray minds of the technology business, people that were in the top 50 executives in the Silicon Valley,
Okay.
um, and that were inventors, that had their own patents, etc. And working with those people, you get to learn a lot of things, and probably I reflected some of those learnings, during the interview. It's like I said, they're very much committed. They are relentless. They are
Hmm.
focused. Their purpose is above and beyond them. It's not about being known or becoming famous or making a lot of money. Because
Hmm.
money eventually will come. But this is not that their main concern is how do I make a lot of money out of this? Is this the right business to make money? So no, I mean they were into doing some good for other people, and this
Yeah.
is what happens in also in Sky, and working with those entrepreneurs was a again a privilege for me because uh, those are probably father figures that you look into and you say, hey, this is the kind of guy I want to be. These
Hmm.
are the kind of behaviors. You mentioned at the beginning of the conversation the word admiration, right? And people tend to admire other people who behave in line with their own behavioral patterns, their own values, people who have done uh, or achieved something extraordinary. And I had the opportunity to work with some of those people, and it was a great experience, right? And
Definitely,
also
sure.
had the
I can imagine.
opportunity to work across many different uh, geographical and economical environments in very many countries, from the United States to Romania or to South Africa or Saudi Arabia. And I think I mentioned at the beginning that the cultural nuances are are very important, right? And and
The what? Sorry, what did you say? The last
and
thing?
the cultural nuances, the differences, the
Oh, yes, the
details,
cultural difference. Definitely.
sorry.
Hmm.
So
Sure. No,
they
thank you.
they they are very important, uh, because at the end of the day, uh, you become a better person, more complete person when you suck in all those experience and you learn and you somehow get rid of any biases that you may have, right? And you become a better person as well, not only a better professional, right? Uh,
Sure.
you
Definitely.
tend you put yourself in the shoes of others. I mean, one thing that I learned is that well, we are lucky to live probably in what is called the first world, right? But I
Definitely.
got the opportunity to stay and to live for a while in countries and with people that do not have the same opportunities as you had when you were a young person, because their families didn't have the income, or even in their country they could not get access to education, or we mentioned before as things as basic as hey, healthcare, right?
Sure.
So
Definitely.
what makes you different from any of those persons? The only difference is that you happen to, be born in a country that had all those services, and that, level or standard of living, right? That
Mm-hmm.
welfare, and those people did not have, were not that lucky. They left out. So that is food for thought for me.
Definitely,
Had
definitely. I
an
totally agree with
I
that.
had a
Mm.
number of experiences in the in the 90s. I used to travel very often to the former
Mm-hmm.
Yugoslavia after the Balkans war,
Okay.
and I had experiences of people that had lost everything, and that they knew that they would not recover the life until two generations after that. Man,
That's tough. That's really tough for
so
sure.
so that some kind resets your pain levels, and so you don't complain about basic things just because it's something that is inconvenient, because then you think of other people that, again, don't have the basic, the minimum basic
Yeah.
needs, that you have fulfilled. Anyways, I'm kind of
That's the time. That's that
going
we
away
are.
here.
No, no, thank you so much. That was very important message, I think, at the end, and it's something to be aware of. As you say, food for thought, and see how can we solve that in the future as well and in the present, and try to be or have more equal opportunities around the globe. Because I think also those are powerful minds that are not being put in use for the service of the world. So it's also a lost opportunity, I think, in that sense. Alfredo, thank you
Mhm.
so much. It's a pleasure. I could have talked with you for hours, for sure. I just wanted to know if you have any last words that you may want to share for start as an entrepreneur.
To the
Or
world again.
no, to the world, just for the start as an entrepreneur.
No.
You say a lot already, so it's up to you if you want.
Right.
Yeah,
No, just again, well, thanks for your time. Thanks for inviting me to
it
your
was an absolute
to
pleasure. Thank
your
you to you.
channel, and um, probably, I don't want to repeat myself as like a broken record. Uh, I would say to the younger generations, like I
Yes,
mentioned before, uh, you know, be bold, you know,
people.
but mostly, uh, I also said, that probably, they should think, um, you again, probably I'm going back to the message to the world, I would
Yeah.
say, make your life worthwhile. Don't
Okay,
just
beautiful.
follow the path. Don't just follow the path.
Don't just follow
Blaze
the
a
path.
new trail. Blaze a new trail. Leave your mark. Leave a mark. I think it is critical. If all of us in the world, we're committed to leaving a mark for others, this would be a much better world for everyone.
Totally agree. Thank you so much, Alfredo, for that beautiful last message and for all the lessons
Thank you,
learned that you
Joshi.
share here. Thanks a lot.
Thank
We
you.
finish now.
Take care.
Ciao. Take care.
Cheers.
Take